So apparently I am an OG YouTuber, which is crazy to me, but I was literally among the first content creators to become a YouTube partner. Yeah, like I was among the first people. When I first started on YouTube, was it 2006? I don't remember the exact year, but Google didn't even own it yet. So you couldn't get paid from doing YouTube at the time. This whole content creator thing was really new. A lot of people in my life told me it would be a fad. I remember being told by one producer that people like me and also Tori Kelly, because that's how I learned who Tori Kelly was. He was like, people like you and Tori Kelly, I don't know what you think YouTube's gonna do, and it's funny to see how much of a superstar she's become. But yeah, so I was one of the first. And part of how that shows up in my life now is those of you who rocked with me from the beginning, you'll say things like, man, I remember when you performed here, or when you did this thing, like I really wish I could have gone on tour with you. I saw you went on the tour and you performed at the embassy, and or Eric, this happened recently. Like, Eric, I'm sitting in a classroom in Korea at this huge university, and they're playing a video of you and two of your friends singing. This is a video of, like, I'm like, I know that guy, he's singing, and they're playing it for our class, you know? So that's great, but it breaks my heart a little bit, because a lot of those video clips, when I look back at them now, I recognize that I wasn't fully there. Because Eric, who was in his early 20s, all I could think about was, what's the next step? What's the next step? Like, how do I really make it? Like, okay, this is good. This tour is nice, but how do I get on a bigger tour? Okay, this show is nice. How do I get on a bigger show? This, like, these views are nice. How do I get more views? And I know they say, like, you should never have regrets. I do regret it in the sense that if I could go back, I would do it differently. And by do it differently, I mean just let myself be present and enjoy the experience. And the difference between Eric then and Eric now, like 20 years later, almost 20 years later, is I know how to be present for the adventure. And as artists, I think a lot of times we're looking for proof, for validation, proof that we're really doing it right. And I was never somebody who was just seeking money, so that wasn't an issue for me. I know some people, they're really pursuing that money. For me, that wasn't so much the issue. I wanted, like, validation from certain people and certain institutions, and I wanted to be among certain circles when I was younger. And letting that go brought so much peace and joy into my life, and it allows me to do what I do from a place of just happiness. So my advice to you is this: it's okay to have ambition, it's okay to want to do things, sure, go for it, but don't forget that life is happening now. Life is happening right now. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy what's happening right now. I know it's really cliche, but you don't want to look back and be like, oh, we were doing it, but I couldn't appreciate it. It's not a fun feeling. But I have grace with myself. I've forgiven myself for that. But part of me forgiving myself was to learn the lesson and to be like, okay, Eric, that's part of your journey. You had these amazing experiences that you kind of took for granted. And now you know not to do that. So from now on, you will stop and smell the roses, or stop and smell the lemon infused matcha green tea. That's some advice you didn't ask for.